In early 1959, a group of experienced hikers decided to embark on an expedition into the Ural Mountains, located in the remote regions of the Soviet Union. The group consisted of 9 people accustomed to the harsh nature of Siberia. But this expedition would be their last journey. Investigations were conducted, photographs and diaries were examined. However, more than half a century later, this event remains unsolved. This event went down in history under this name, the Dyatlov Pass incident. On the morning of January 23, 1959, a group of 10 skiers and hikers boarded their train and set off towards the Ural Mountains. The group consisted of 8 men and 2 women. The leader of the group was Igor Dyatlov, a young engineering student. As the train traveled deep into the Siberian taiga, one of the group wrote the following sentence in his diary: "What awaits us on this journey? Will we experience something new?" The group used many different modes of transportation to continue their journey. First a bus, then a truck, then a sled, and finally, they continued on foot. On January 28th, one of the team members, Yuri Yudin, fell ill. Therefore, he had to return. This decision would save his life, because from that moment on, the team continued their journey as a group of 9. These photos were the last moments his friends saw him. On February 1st, the group reached an area the local Mansi people call Death Mountain. Later that day, they climbed the mountainside and decided to set up camp just a few hundred meters below the summit. The last images captured on camera were from that night. The final entry in the diary was, "The sound of the wind and the absence of any human settlements for hundreds of kilometers. Camping here is truly incredible." But that night, something went terribly wrong. A few weeks later, their families began to worry because no one from the team had returned. After much discussion, a search team was formed. On February 26, 1959, the team finally reached the campsite. But what they saw, it was absolutely horrifying. The tent was partially collapsed. It was covered with a thin layer of snow. All the equipment was inside, but something was very strange. The tent had been cut from the inside with a knife, so the hikers had fled the tent in panic. The search team found 9 pairs of footprints leading from the tent into the forest. The tracks disappeared after half a kilometer. At the edge of the forest, under a large cedar tree, there was a campfire, and next to it, 2 frozen bodies, Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonishenko. They had almost no clothes on. That night, the temperature was -30 degrees. The bodies of the other hikers were found weeks later. Some had frozen to death while trying to return to their tents, but the condition of 4 people was much stranger. Their ribs were broken, one had a fractured skull, and one woman was missing her tongue. According to the forensic report, these injuries were caused by a blow as strong as a car accident, but there were no signs of assault. But the most mysterious detail was the detection of radioactivity in some clothing. Researchers suggested this might have been caused by radioactive dust in the atmosphere. However, a definitive explanation was never given. The case was closed on May 28, 1959. The official report stated, "The hikers lost their lives due to an unknown force they could not overcome." Even today, the Dyatlov Pass incident continues to baffle people. Was it an avalanche? A military experiment? Or is it something else we still don't know? If it is true, perhaps it will remain buried under the snow forever. If you enjoy mysterious stories like this and want to see more videos like it, make sure to subscribe to the channel.